to say, everybody, please do me a favor. Put your hands together and please give a warm welcome to my friend and somebody who is the best in the business when it comes to search and getting visible, Mr. Chris Hill from Overtake Digital.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you, buddy. Give me 1 second to load up, guys, and we'll be ready to rock here. Okay. So my name is Chris Hill. I am a 13-year vet of the automotive retail space. About 4 years ago, I joined what I affectionately call the dark side, the vendor side of the table. And I did that primarily because I saw a lot of opportunity that exists for dealers in the industry today that they weren't really getting out of a lot of vendors. I do run a company by the name of Overtake Digital. We are a fully human-driven, non-programmatic solution out of Chicago, Illinois, that runs full digital services, everything from SEO, pay-per-click, social media, YouTube, and beyond. I am a Google specialist. I am pretty proud of that because I do hold every single certification that Google offers. I live and breathe what I do. From everything from a hobby, building cars, racing cars, selling cars, and beyond. I did this in the dealer space for a long time, and I sat through a lot of pitches from a lot of different vendors out there. And what I saw over and over again was a lot of people were plugging me into software or systems that would tend to do the work for me. All right, and after an onslaught of promises broken and software not delivering, I found an opportunity to bring the human-driven solution. I mean, to be honest with you, when it comes to digital marketing, what Google wants, what YouTube wants, what you do on paid and social is really come down to doing the work. You can't have software do everything for you. It's a good Band-Aid. It's a good way to augment some of the work. But when it really comes down to it, if you guys really want good digital marketing, what you really need to do is get in there and get your hands dirty. So what I do is I do speak all over the country. I'm actually speaking tomorrow at Digital Dealer as well. I speak to educate the dealer. I feel that I speak your language. Being a 13-year or 12, 13-year vet in the automotive retail space, for me, I think we speak a different language than a lot of people that are not in the automotive industry. So being able to relate to what you guys are doing and how you guys are doing it is very important. All right, so I do put down that I'm the practitioner and I'm a plumber. The reason I say that is there are so many people in this industry that come up here and speak, and I'm not referring to anybody here, don't get me wrong, but everybody wants to be an architect. All right, everybody wants to tell you how to do it, but no one's actually sludged through the arbitrage in that ecosystem to earn their results, meaning that they want to tell you how to do it, but they've never actually done it themselves. All right, so it's a big thing for me with my social media following. I do have over 55, 60,000 followers on Facebook. Just hit 100,000 followers on Instagram. I get around 12,000 views per snap I put out. And I do have now over 90 million views on YouTube. That is a little bit of digital marketing and a lot of car racing. But for me, being successful in that platform is one thing. Being successful and using it for a business purpose is another, which is great and good. But for me, I am a practitioner. Everything that me and my company do, I have done myself for my dealers and beyond. So I'm going to teach you guys a little bit. I think that teaching you and empowering you with how it works is much more important than sitting up here and in an indirect way pitching what I do. But training you to understand how it works and the way it works so you guys can kind of expect what you inspect out of your vendors, okay? So I'm going to jump around a little bit. This is a very close-knit group here. I kind of thrive on the Q&A, so if you want to stop me and ask a question, just raise your hand. I have no problem with that at all. So the first thing I want to go over, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. I'm not going to try not to put you guys through a kind of an arbitrage of slides here. Is pay-per-click. Pay-per-click and about 95% of this industry is run by what we call a programmatic solution. Programmatic solutions, basically a program like Marin, Adobe, Kenshu, and beyond. These programs are actually built to manage multi-million-dollar ad spend by just a couple people. So there are some website companies that I know that recently sold that were managing $3 to $4 million in spend with one person using this software. A lot of times this software is actually built for online conversion. So if Fossil Watch came up and they said, okay, we want to put out this pay-per-click ad, the algorithm will put that out there, the programmatic solution will put that out there, put it in front of users, and once they get that click and they actually sell a watch, what happens is an online conversions take place and there's bid adjustments based upon that ad and that programmatic solution that will go, okay, great, we need to adjust more money into that keyword or into that search phrase, all right? This is a lot of times why you guys see branded pay-per-click happening so often on your own name. Now, people will tell you all day long, and I actually have proof the otherwise, that buying your own name is a very good idea. The reason programmatic software typically buys their own name is because a lot of people click on it. And that programmatic solution, that software, has a programming that basically says, if you get a lot of click and you get a lot of conversions, then we need to put more money into that keyword set, okay? So if someone's looking you up for service or directions and so on, they're gonna go, okay, I'm gonna click on that pay-per-click ad. It's the first thing that comes up, why not? All right, so as that programmatic solution continues to see these clicks come in, what happens is they start making bid adjustments. And more of your budget gets dumped in to branded pay-per-click search, all right? Pay-per-click is not used to bring you traffic that you are already going to get. So if you're organically number one for your own name, there is almost zero reason to be buying it, all right? That's like me saying, hey, I'm gonna bring you guys $5 ups today. $5 ups, sign me up. I mean, I've been in a dealership a long time. A $5 up, I'll do it, all right? All I'm really gonna do is I'm gonna stand at the outside of your dealership, right on the edge of the curb, and I'm gonna wait for people to turn on their blinker. I'm gonna stand there and write down their name, and I'll come back to you at the end of the day. Here's all the people I brought to your dealership today, and they go, Chris, that's cute, but you just sat out front and took credit for people that were already coming here. What's the difference? What is the real difference of somebody buying your name, somebody clicking on it and coming to your dealership? If you're organically number one, you're going to get that click, Google says 80 to 85% of the time. Now, if I'm branded, it's 90 to 95% of the time. All right, so buying that only does one thing, or it does two things actually. It's going to increase your bill, all right, but it's also going to cannibalize your organic. So every time Google sees somebody search something and they answer it with their search response, which is your own dealership name, what's going to happen is they're going to start taking away clicks from your organic results. So they're no longer clicking on your organic, which you get more authority every click, all right? You now start paying for it for absolutely no reason at all. As far as pay-per-click goes beyond that, Google really focuses on something we call quality score. Now, quality score is pretty easy to understand. Google's job is to give you the best possible answer to your question, all right? So what Google looks at is quality score. Now, they look at vertical quality score, tax, historical performance, click-through rate, and overall account quality. That's really after the fact. That's how well your account is doing. The real meat of this is ad copy relevance, keyword relevance, and landing page relevance. When a consumer asks something like for a lease or a used car or an incentive, so many of us are just going up there and saying, we have great deals on cars. We've been here for X amount of years. We're very highly reviewed. You're not answering that consumer's question. The consumer asks for a lease. Now, when you get home, or even if you're in your hotel or out to dinner tonight, go and search in your market something like a Ford F-150 lease. Look how many people in your market are actually answering that question. So many of them are going to come back and go, oh, we got great deals on cars. All right, that's great. All right, but at the end of the day, I asked for a lease. All right, so if I'm taking you to my home page or an inventory page and I ask for a lease, does my ad copy have the lease? No. Do my keywords have the lease? No. Do the landing page that I take them on have the lease? No. All right, now if I'm walking away from automotive here and say I'm looking for blue umbrellas, all right, and I type in blue umbrellas and they take me to a website with yellow umbrellas, the relevancy of what I asked for isn't there. So the quality score falls. As the quality score falls, a lot of stuff happens to you, all right? And we'll get into that. But what Google is actually looking for is they're looking at the behavior of the user, all right? And I'll show you how to look this up yourself. This is called Google AdWord Preview Tool. What it allows you to do is dictate where you're searching from, the language you're searching in, and what device you're searching in. All right? What you'll do is you'll go in there and you'll start typing in this type of stuff. Now, if you do it from your home computer or your home phone, you guys already have a profile built for that. All right, so you're gonna see results that are more custom tailored to you. But we're talking about Mrs. Smith that's looking for a used Jeep Wrangler that's 10 miles down the road that has not been searching automotive dealerships and clicking on yours every single time it comes up. All right, so these will get you the real results. This isn't something that is going to be, this will get you the real results in that geography that you guys are searching from. All right, so you can look at the city next to you, look at your competitors. You can go in there and really find out how you're doing. As far as pay-per-click goes, we really need to focus on what we call low funnel or the action funnel. All right, tier 1 and tier 2 is the OEM. They're gonna build the awareness, the interest, the desire. All right, we're not looking to do that with our pay-per-click dollars. All right, it should buy you opportunity to people that are searching right now in your market for a specific vehicle at a specific price or a specific deal. So we're looking for the action phase. Now, the action phase is if anything that someone comes on to your lot or into your showroom and asks a question. If the consumer is asking for an incentive, offer, a deal, a lease, a special, a coupon, all right? All these answers need to be there when the consumers are searching. And if you're not answering that, your quality score falls. So when a consumer is asking for a lease, you need to actually provide them with that lease. And you can see here, $260 a month, 21 months, $260 a month, 36-month lease. You can see the competitors there. View our selection of durable F-150s. Bob Tomes Ford in McKinney, Texas. Hopefully you're not in here. Maybe you are. Come see me. All right. You did not answer that question. All right. And when you don't answer that question, you are losing your swing at the plate. You're losing your opportunity to convert. All right. This is your digital showroom. Once they've made it to your site, that's a whole nother ballgame. They're asking right now. Google is a digital showroom. They're asking for that. You have to give them that. All right. It's very important. So you'll see this a lot. Honda Civic incentives. Find your nearest helpful Honda dealer. Didn't give them the incentives. All right. Honda Civic incentives. 2017 Honda Civic LX Special, $139 a month, 36 months, 0 down. All right, or 0% for $0 for 60 months. Excuse me. Go ahead.
How does Google measure whether or not you provided the right?
That is a great question. So let's talk about that. So what they're actually going to be looking at is behavior. All right, so Google's not actually sitting there counting all this type of stuff up. Google's taking basically, let's say there's 100 searches in your market for that question today. All right, they're going to look at the behavior of the consumer once they're on your site. So once they've answered the question with your answer, all right, your dealership's answer, they're going to look at how that user interacted with your site. So if they give an answer and the consumer is bouncing at 90% of the time, so out of 100 searches, you got 90 of them, 100 people that came to your site today and 90% of them bounced, that's not a very good answer by Google. Google's like, wow, we give it one out of 10 people actually stayed on this site. They're also going to be looking at time on site, how many pages that consumer looked at, all right, and overall, did they convert? All right, so what they do is they take an aggregate of all that information and they go, this was either a good answer or a bad answer. All right, the same thing happens with organic. All right, so what happens when you answer that question the consumer is asking for, say, a used car or a lease or a special or offer or a deal, and you answer that, and there's so many people in your market that isn't answering that. The one that does and actually has a page about the lease, the offer, the deal, the special incentive, or so on, all right, it becomes a very good answer. And what you see is a higher time on site, a very low bounce rate, a higher conversion rate, right? More pages per visit, and Google goes, wow, good job, advertiser, good job, dealership. You did what we wanted you to. You gave a good answer to a consumer's question. That's what we do best, all right? So as they look at this user behavior, that's how they're going to grade it. So what happens once they've graded, all right, and once your quality score goes up? Well, a couple things. You're going to be seen more often, all right? It's called average position. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 positions at the top, all right? And then at the bottom, who cares? Because if at the bottom, no one goes down there anyways, all right? So the better the answer, the question, the higher up the average position, all right? The other thing is your impression share or your share of voice goes up. So if there's 100 searches today for new F-150 in your market, all right, how many of those shares did you show up for and how many did you get clicked on? All right. Now, the coolest thing about good quality score, all right, and doing what Google wants you to do, as your quality score increases, your cost per click decreases, all right? Because Google's going to reward you for giving a good answer, all right? So when I ask for that lease and I give them that lease and they spend a lot of time on site and they finally convert, Google's going to go, wow, this is a really good answer. Let's serve this more often. But what we're going to do is we're actually start discounting that cost per click. All right, so great deals at Bob Tomes Ford is not getting a very good quality score, but the one that does to give that lease, that offer, that deal, that special, that incentive, all right, they're going to get a substantial discount on their cost per click. So if you're at $10,000 a month at $2 a click, that's 5,000 clicks a month. You increase your quality score up to an 8 or 9, now you're looking at a 35 to 50% decrease in cost per click. Now you're getting 10,000 clicks for $10,000 a month. All right? All it is somebody going in there and doing that arbitrage of answering those questions. So if your pay-per-click people aren't asking you for your deals, specials, offers, incentives, and so on every single month and updating those, all right, you're losing your opportunity, all right, because they're saying generic things like, we have really good deals on cars, or we've been in business forever, all right? Doesn't make any difference to the consumer. They're asking for something. Be the one person in your market that's answering that question. All right. Not only are you going to get low funnel people that are asking buying based questions like, what's the lease on this F-150? All right. But you're going to get a lower cost per click. Now, there's a lot of technology that goes in with this now, a huge amount that's being available to you guys right now. Raise your hand if you can listen to your pay-per-click calls off of a pay-per-click ad. All right. One person in here. This technology's been around for like 2 years. All right. What we're able to do is we're able to not only record the first, last name of the caller, the phone number, also the words that they search to click on the ad to call your store. All right. So it's important that you are not using these programmatic solutions because typically they don't get upgraded very often. All right. Is anybody here getting Google Customer Match? Anybody know what Google Customer Match is? Been around for like 4 years. All right. We're able to take our actual list out of our CRM or our DMS, upload it into AdWords, and say if anybody on that list searches anything about F-150, give them this exclusive offer on YouTube, on Google, and Gmail. All right. Now, if you're in one of those binds where you're in, you have price restrictions, this is a private offer because they have to be on that list to see that deal. All right. So you can literally give them an exclusive offer anytime they're in the market asking, as long as they're on that list, because Google's going to give you the nod as that's your prior customer. All right. What I'm saying is, as you use these programmatic solutions, you have to ensure that your store is staying up with the times. All right. You got to utilize these new things that are coming out. All right. It's to the point now that about 2-3 months ago, we're able to track somebody that clicks your pay-per-click ad and goes into your store. So now we can quantify not only the calls, but also the visits. All right. If you can't quantify that, how do you inspect what you expect out of your pay-per-click people? All right. The reason you don't get this is not because they don't want to give it to you. It's because they've rented software that doesn't have that functionality. Or if it does, they got to pay more for it, or they got to wait for it to be updated. All right. So programmatic solutions become very tough on dealerships that are using them. The other thing is click to call, click to text. All right. If you guys don't have a click to text straight into your BDC, you guys got to have that opportunity available to you. All right, I would say that substantially more people are responding to text. I want to say it's like 93% within 5 minutes. I'm at 5 minutes already? Are you kidding me? Wow, I didn't even get through a pay-per-click yet.
It's Anthony's fault.
Come on, man. All right, so let me cruise through here a little bit. There are a lot of branded search updates out there that can show you that this is right off of search engine land, that branded pay-per-clicks actually increased by 61% over the last couple months. All right, I'm going to cruise through this because I didn't realize I had such a little amount of time here. I thought I've only been speaking for like 10 minutes. But as far as Facebook goes, when we're producing leads on Facebook, guys, get away from this traffic. 15 minutes. Hour and 15, thank you. All right, so buckle down, guys. We got a little time. So as far as Facebook traffic goes, look, I've done this arbitrage. I've gone through this, and I've created a lot of traffic for my clients on social media. But at the end of the day, we see a huge bounce rate and very low time on site. So I can get thousands of visitors for not very much money, but at the end of the day, the quality of that visitor is very low. So we actually moved away from that, all right? And we started moving towards the lead generation. So what we do on Facebook is we actually produce ads that are very visually stimulating, all right? Videos, pictures, all right, offers directly there, but also a call to action at the bottom that'll allow them to go directly into a lead form. The really cool thing about this is we can hyper-focus this information directly to the consumers that are in the market for that car that can own it, whether they're going to be buying new, used, lease, all right, a specific type of car, a mid-size truck, a full-size truck, sedan, you name it, that the opportunity is there for you. You can get down to what sites they've been on. You can get down to the amount of money that they make every year. Now, this actually came out of Facebook Business Manager, I want to say in September or August. So now you have to have a relationship with Oracle, Affinitive, and so on to get this data. So we started buying it. Facebook used to give it to us as advertisers. We can't get that anymore, so we had to create relationships with the people that were providing that to Facebook. But you can still create that. Once you create that and you got yourself down to what we call a custom audience, all right, now we've hyper-targeted users in your market that are in the market for that car right now, all right, and can afford it. All right, now we're gonna take them to a lead form. All right, these lead forms allow you to dip into anything Facebook knows about this user. So you can say, Facebook, I need to know the first name, last name, email, telephone number, address, marital status, work title. It doesn't matter if it's in Facebook and Facebook has it, they're gonna give that information to you on this lead form. The very cool thing is Amazon actually patented one-click lead technology a long time ago, one-click purchase technology. It's actually integrated into Facebook because that patent is no longer in existence. It expired this last year. So what we're able to do now is the second somebody clicks on this email button over here on the right, what it's going to do is Facebook's going to autofill all that information directly out of that user's profile. All right, one button goes straight to your CRM. You can look at that email address, you can put it back into Facebook and start chatting with that consumer right then and there that's on that vehicle. All right, so utilizing these tools that allow you to get to these consumers is a big deal. This is a dealer, it's a 350, 400 dealer, car a month dealer in Chicago, Carey, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. This is just a little bit of a study we did on used cars. We put up 10 used cars with prices. We hyper-targeted directly to the consumers. All right, they get to sit on Facebook and shift through the car and say, oh, I like that car. All right, they click the lead button. All right, they go right in. We produced, I want to say about a week and a half, June 24th through June 8th, maybe 2 weeks. 40 leads, $5 a lead, it cost them $200. All right, I give you the reference, call a store, they sold 10 cars off of it. All right, now not off of this single ad, but off of this program, but 40 leads. All right, that's a couple leads a day. All right, you guys are spending 3, 4, 5, 10 times this with these third parties that you guys are paying because AutoTraderCars.com is going to give you like, what, 10 leads this month and you spent like $6,000 with them? All right, I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying that there's a lot better cost-effective opportunities to get out there. All right, very cool thing we do with Facebook is a lot of people have problems growing their Facebook page. Look, I've done the bank programs, I've done the OEM programs, I've done the third-party programs. It's all, here's get your car ready for the summer, get your car ready for the winter, here's a new car coming out from Ford, here's a concept car. Did that sell you anything? Did it do anything for you? No, I mean, like, you might get 1 or 2 likes, and it's typically the employees' spouses that are liking it. You know, hey babe, go like my dealership. You know, we need some interaction. It doesn't work. You have an agenda, all right? They know you have an agenda. Popular TV nowadays is even pushing. I actually heard a lady in the airport last night go, oh yeah, I typically don't take my car to a dealership because they're always trying to get us to spend more money and they're more expensive than everybody else. That is not true. All right, I wanted to walk over there and be like, yeah, let me tell you a little something. But look, the way that I fixed this, the way that I got around this opportunity was I took the dealership out of it. All right, so charitable giving. All right, you probably already donate to your local market right now. What I did is I utilized that for something else. All right, so for the first 2 weeks of the month, my agency actually goes, hey community, we want you guys to pick who we give our money to. So for the next 2 weeks, local charities and our market only, we're gonna allow you to pick. So these charities are to come in, and the local food pantry, local animal shelter. This one guy at the top of this pyramid-looking scheme thing here is gonna be the guy that comes into your dealership or finds out about it. Now he's gonna go share that with his group. Now at the end of the 2 weeks, we open up submissions. All right, we open up voting. We close submissions. All right, so now these people are all driving their own groups to your Facebook page to vote for their dealership. And at the end of the month, the one who wins, that gets the most likes, all right, or votes, gets a $500 501c3 write-off check. All right, now what happens to the loser club? All right, they don't walk away with their heads down, guys. They actually come back twice as many more people next month because they're gonna make sure that they win. So more and more people are getting involved with your dealership. I literally have dealers that have people come in and say, the reason I came to shop here, I've never done business with you before, but you affected me in a personal way. You helped those dogs or you helped those people, and I think that's great, so I want to work with you. All right? Go ahead. What's that?
How big a check are they writing?
How big are a check?
Yeah.
I mean, the amount? I have dealers that typically do it at $500 a month. Now, the charities can win up to 3 times a year, but not twice in a row, so they're going to stick around. All right? You typically start with 5 or 6 charities. I got a dealer out in the East Coast in Boston that has 48 at this point, and they've been doing it for about 8 months. All right? But they have like 18,000 likes. We've actually used an API, which is an application program interface, that locked them out from voting until they like your dealership. All right? Now, I'm a dog lover. All right? So if you're going to, as a dealership, donate money to help save dogs, I got no problem liking you. I may not ever do business with you, but I got no problem liking you because you're doing something that affects me. All right? So we're able to grow our Facebook page very quickly for all the right reasons. And all you guys do at the end of the day is sit back and write that $500 check, which is typically a tenth of what you're typically writing out a month, all right, and look like the good guys. All right? I do have dealers that go up to $1,000, $1,500. Do you have a question?
I'm just curious if you had any actual conversion to sale number.
It's a great question. I honestly should probably put something like that together. I don't, so I don't want to spit something out at you. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great question. Pre-roll, I wanted to touch on this because Matt got into it. Look, pre-roll works really, really well. And I'll tell you where it works even better than anything else I've seen is other languages than English. All right, now don't get me wrong, English does very well. We typically see a view rate of 58 to 70%. But when you go into Spanish, there was actually a case study by Google that showed Spanish consumers look at more social media, more multimedia before entering a dealership than any other ethnic group, which means they're basically looking for somebody to relate with at the store. So don't repurpose OEM content. Make it real. The more raw, the better. All right, if you go throw up a commercial, trust me, it's not going to do anything for you. They want to see a real person in front of a real car, all right, talking about them coming in to see me. I can get you this deal on this car. All right, wait till the end of the month and ask that guy or look at that guy's sales numbers. I bet you they go up. All right, the very cool thing about this is that for the first 5 seconds, you don't pay. So if they skip, at least you're going to get your offer, your deal, your special, your incentive directly to that consumer, and it's going to hit them on YouTube over and over and over again. Eventually, they're going to watch. The very cool thing about YouTube is you can hyper-target these as well. So you can put these consumers directly into an advanced targeting audience. So I can target a consumer that's into Corvettes with a Corvette ad within 10 miles of your dealership. And if they don't, if they're not in that market, then we don't waste the money by trying to sell them a Corvette. All right, so Google gives us this opportunity. I'm running out of time, but I wanted to show you guys what was coming up next. Waze. Who here has used Waze? All right. I had a case study that we did with the exact same dealership. All right. Every time that someone stops at a red light in front of their dealership or within 10 miles of the dealership, I run an ad. All right. $95 produced 20 real-time navigations to that store. $95. 20 navigations to the store, meaning that they saw the ad, they clicked on it, navigated to the store. 20 visits for $95. Sign me up. All right. What I'm trying to get at is you guys cannot sit back and try to find the right vendors to do the stuff that we've all been doing for the last 10 years. All right? If I would have been up here 15 years ago and I would have told you how great pay-per-click was, all right, at 10 to 15 cents a click, you guys would have sat around for a couple years to decide how valuable the ROI on that vertical was. And by that time, that saturation in that vertical is done. Now you're paying $10 to $15 a click. That's where we're at right now. All right? So when you see $5 leads, when you see navigations for $95 for 20 of them within a week, you have to diversify the portfolio. You're putting your pole in the same pond as 90 other fishermen. All right? Get into your own pond, find those fish, find those customers, and start being more progressive as dealers. There are vendors out there that do it. All right? There's plenty of them. All right? I'm not the only one. All right, I'd love you to think that I'm the only one, but this is out there. All right? So you got to be pushing yourself to make sure that you guys are always staying ahead of the curve. Because I'm telling you, I do digital for USA Today. I do digital for Century 21, Caldwell Banker, all right, Hilton Worldwide. They are light years ahead of you. They're light years ahead of us. light years. Okay? We need to step it up a little bit. All right, we're sitting back talking about how much better my system is at doing pay-per-click than your system. Dude, pay-per-click is like so old. If you can't get it right by now, maybe it's time to move on, all right? Trying to tell you how much better my software is than yours is crazy. Do what Google asks. Answer their question. That's what they want. If they want a lease, give them a lease. If they want a used CPO car or a used car, give them that used car. Don't talk about that you have used cars. Great, all right? So I apologize I didn't get enough time. I do want to open it up for questions real quick. Does anybody have any before I'm done? All right, that either means I did a really good job or you guys are all kind of lost in the headlights. So I appreciate your time. Thank you guys so much, everybody.
Yeah. Really good job.